Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner studio, and with me today is Bonnie Baker. She is with the Garden Club, I guess we're going to call it,
Yes.
isn't it? And I think it's the Warren County Garden Club.
Garden Club of Warren County.
That's they always flip it around, if you want to do it. And this is Garden Week or something they call it. It's all around the state.
Yes.
Let me see. You got a book here. Now, you said you put these around town in a few places?
Yes, we have them at the Visitor Center, the Chamber of Commerce, Skyline Caverns.
Okay.
So, and we are about to take some downtown to local businesses so that they will have them for their shoppers to pick up.
So this happens from April 26th to May 3rd. It's statewide, and there's all sorts of cool houses and things and great gardens, as we well know. But the Garden Club of Warren County is doing just the ones here in Warren County, right?
Yes.
These houses.
Yes.
And what day are we doing that on?
April the 26th.
Oh, you're going to be right at the beginning then.
Yes. We like being one of the first tours, and there are 29 tours across the state, about 120 houses, thousands of flower arrangements that are made by about 3,000 volunteers, we call them. And we try, when we do these arrangements, to the best of our ability, to use flowers out of our gardens locally, and maybe some of them that we pick up in the neighbor's yard, when we're out strolling late at night.
If the deer don't eat them down to the nub, right?
Yes, and the neighbors aren't awake to see that we're cutting their roses.
Oh, that's so pretty.
So, yes.
Well, I wish you'd just come over to my yard and just plant tons of stuff. I mean, I got a half an acre in town. You can just come over and plant all day long,
Well, we could do that, and then we could cut.
Then you can cut all you want.
Yes. So
I always wanted to do, how you drive by the highway and you see the wildflowers they put out?
Yes.
And I seen something in one of the magazines one time where they had wildflowers on a roll, and it was like they planted the seeds into the hay or grass or burlap or something. You could just unroll this thing and lay it in your yard and water it, and you have all these I want to do that. I never did. But
it doesn't get any easier than that.
No, but I just think, and I've seen some people around that literally do their front yard just flowers. There's no grass. It's just wildflowers growing its way.
And that's wonderful, but that still takes a little bit of maintenance for sure.
I know it.
So
especially after they croak,
Yes. You have to spend a lot of time deadheading. I think most of the time in the summer, I'm 3 to 4 hours a day, every day in the garden.
If you don't do that, they don't last, do
That's
they?
right. That's right.
Let's get back on the tour. I'm getting you off topic.
No, that's all right. We are going to have 3 wonderful local houses on tour. And they are, one is from the home of my co-chair, Miss Ashby O'Malley, who is homesick today and couldn't be here. Riverside, which is in Riverton.
Right.
A house with a lot of history. Constructed back in around 1835 they started, and it took about 10 years to build it. And in 1849 it was purchased by Major James Richard, and it's remained in Ashby's family ever since.
Wow.
Ashby's grandmother and her mother and Ashby are all members of the Garden Club or of Warren County.
Right. So all these homes are historic, right?
Not all of them. Our second home, which is Druid Hill, owned by Braidwood Costello, is a marvelous home that they had purchased back in 1980. Let's see. It was built in 1872, and the present owner purchased it in 1982.
Right. That's right across from the Skyline Middle School.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yes, it is.
No one knows where that is. That's because you don't see the street till you.
Exactly. and for those of us that have been around Front Royal, it's the old high school that it's across
the old
from.
high school. Yes.
So anyway, they have done some renovations over the years. They did some in 1980. They added a spa, a greenhouse, they've added a sunroom, and renovated the kitchen, and through all of this have really tried hard to maintain the historical integrity of
So are these going to be home tours as well as garden tours?
They are.
Well, that's even neater. Oh, yeah, okay.
And
it's one thing walking the grounds, but it's kind of neat. Let me tell you a real quick story about Garden Club. We were in England, and we're out in the Cotswolds, or wherever, however they say that. And we drove by this guy about this house, and it was just full of beautiful flowers. And, we're gawking at it, and this old lady comes out, and she says, our accent give us away, or her vice versa. Well, come on in. She was like 90 some years old, and she showed us around her. It was a house been there 400 years, and her garden was just gorgeous. And we got to talking, and just what I want to tell you, she said, yeah, it's been here 400 years. And we started talking. I said, what all kinds of things been here in this house? She said, oh, she had a whole bit of history. She said, it used to be called the Nowhere House. And the Nowhere House, what's that about? She said, when the wives ask their husband where they're going, they say nowhere.
Oh.
So a little history there.
Okay.
But, all these old houses have a story.
Yes, they do.
And
they do.
And if you think back and you just think of the people that have trod across the grounds, that just amazing. It just our history and our old family. I just think you can just sit there and just imagine. I think about that, the Civil War, how they're just marching up and down this valley. They literally could march side by side and not even know they were there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and Ashby's house did operate for a short time as a hospital during the Civil War.
Wow.
So
Just think about what happened. And, the old George Washington slept here. But think about that. It's just amazing. These old houses have such a story to tell.
They do, but one of our third house is actually a newer house that was constructed. I think it was in the year 2000, and the current owner, he designed the house and had it built. And his late wife was a professional horticulturist and had a professional landscaping company, and she designed a garden that is the envy of everyone in the garden club. It truly, when I went to see it, took my breath away.
Oh, wow.
So the house is absolutely marvelous and is decorated beautifully, but her garden, is just spectacular. You just do not want to miss it. Yeah. It has koi ponds, waterfalls, and I think he said he had about 50 handmade, colorful bird houses that he says in the spring are all filled with birds and baby chicks. So
it's just amazing.
It is a beautiful home, and I think that we're very lucky to have that.
And if you've ever driven around these back roads of the county, which even though we're a very small county, there's a lot of roads and places that are just tucked away, gorgeous older homes and some newer homes. They're just gorgeous, and like you say, a lot of good landscaping and just very tranquil.
Yes.
Some of the settings that we have in the valley, you can't beat it. But places like this, like I say, it's not out on the main road. You don't really even know it exists unless these tours make really. It gives you a lot of ideas, right?
Well,
when you see that, say, well, I can't, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that.
Well, and it's an opportunity to go through and see a beautiful house and garden that you've never had an opportunity to be in.
Yeah, it's great.
So that particular house is out off of Milldale Valley in the Rockland area. Right. So, and it's lovely and peaceful out.
There's a lot of historic homes out there, too, as well, along the river. All right, so tell us a little more about the tour.
Okay. Well, in addition
when, where, and what,
to our house tours, we're going to have special events at our headquarters, which will be the Riverside property.
Okay.
We are going to have members of the Northern Shenandoah Valley Master Gardeners there who will talk about native plants and invasive species and alternatives to that. We are going to have florist or members of the clubs come and do floral arranging demonstrations. We have an arborist from Bartlett Tree Services who will be there actually providing out some free tree saplings to people. And a gentleman named Rich Sankovich, who's an educator, author, gardener, is going to be at the Druid Hill home, and he is going to talk about and do demonstrations on raised bed gardening. And a lot of people are turning to that, and quite a lot of knowledge that he's going to share there. We are going to have a little shopping for those who like to shop at our headquarters that will include some garden totes that our garden club members have made for carrying with you when you go out to collect your flowers in the morning to make your arrangements. And then we are going to have a youth string quartet from Karina Tapsick's Mountain View Music School.
She has a lot of neat little events she puts on down there. Yeah,
yes. So a couple of her students are going to be there, and think about it: strolling through a beautiful garden with a string quartet playing in the background. Could life get any better?
Strolling strings. we
Yes,
used to-
strolling strings.
Yeah, that's great.
So,
That kind of adds to the ambiance, doesn't it?
oh, we think so. We think so.
Well, you'll have to hold your finger up.
No. Listen, garden club ladies in this club,
They love it in the dirt. They dig in the dirt.
We
don't they?
dig in the dirt, and we love it. So, but we also want to let people know that when you buy a ticket to this event, you are helping to support efforts of the Garden Club of Virginia, who goes around the state, and we restore historic gardens that are open to the public.
Right.
So you are helping to support that type of effort. And we want everyone to know that the website is called GC Virginia for gardenclubvirginia.org. And you can get all the information you need to know about the tour. You can actually purchase your tickets right
Okay.
there online.
Now, these tickets, are they good for like all over the state or just in Warren County?
Well, you have the option. You
Okay.
can buy a ticket to one particular tour,
Okay.
like our tour if you'd want, or any of the other tours, or you can in fact purchase a statewide ticket that is discounted.
Okay.
And I have friends that have done that this year, and they're going to take an entire week, travel the entire state of Virginia, and
great.
do house and garden tours.
Right, so now, do the tours start at one place and then move as they go along?
You
Or is it
can-
a come and go event?
It's a come and go. You can tour the house in any order that you would
Okay,
like.
okay.
So, and each house is about 10 minutes.
So they're close
one in
together.
Rockland, one
Sure.
in Riverton, and then the other one over off of Luray Avenue
that's
in
close.
town.
Yeah, that's not too far. A few
So,
minutes.
yes.
Years ago, we'd call that all the way across town, but now it's just
Hop, skip, and a jump. Yeah. And we're hoping people will stop in the middle and go downtown and do some shopping.
Sure.
Have lunch somewhere. The economic impact of this event across the state is significant.
Yes.
They estimate that the people spend about $13 million every tour.
Wow.
When this happens.
Right.
So it's another way to give back. And
We'll have people coming from around the state to just the tour here in Warren County.
we, not only the state, we have guest books that we put out and ask people to include their state or country.
Mm-hmm.
We've had people from Ireland and the UK come
Yeah.
to Front Royal to tour our houses.
Yeah.
And we're so proud of that.
That's great.
So,
That's great. How do you go about selecting these homes that you're going to have on the tour?
well,
Just curious.
well, you know what? If you see a wonderful home,
Yeah.
then you hope somebody in the club knows who owns
Yeah.
that home.
Telephone, telegraph, tell a woman, right? That's
Yes,
how-
or I have been known to walk up to a door and knock on a door and tell the people about the tour and
Yeah.
ask if they'd be interested in being on tour. And so,
Yeah, you got to be bold.
you got to be bold because you want a product
Sure.
that people are interested to
Yeah.
come to see.
That's great.
So, and at this event, if you are someone that, a male or female, you're interested in gardening and the garden club, introduce yourself to someone at the Historic Garden Week tour and tell them you're interested. And we've been fortunate enough to get several new members,
Yeah.
through that
Yeah.
process.
You never know if you don't ask.
You never know if you don't ask.
Well,
So
we're going to put all this information up in the story. We'll put all
Yes.
the contacts and places, the websites, places where you can go and get your tickets, and
Yes.
remind people that that's on April 26th.
April
But the
26th.
event is a statewide event that starts the 26th and runs to the 3rd of May.
Exactly.
It gives you about a week
Exactly.
there to take, and that'll be here before you know it.
I tell you, it's getting real close, and one of our owners, the one that I told you had the most marvelous garden, Mr. Piazza, has planted 800 tulips
Oh my gosh.
in anticipation of this event. So that garden, I just cannot wait to see that.
Yeah,
It's
that's
going to
great.
be spectacular.
That'll give you goosebumps just
Yes, 800 tulips. I can't imagine the
Yeah,
work it
yeah.
takes to do that.
It's a lot.
So,
Well, when people love it, it's not labor. I mean, it's a work of, it's an art, and
Yes.
people get a lot of enjoyment out of that. And then when you get a lot of enjoyment doing it, but you also get a lot of enjoyment when other people enjoy it too.
Exactly.
And I think that's important to do.
And you enjoy it most, in the evening after you've worked all day and
Yeah.
you're finally sitting on the back porch with a cocktail
Yeah.
going, isn't this wonderful?
Little wine, right?
Yes, yes. So, and you just hope that you have the with strength to not get up and want to weed that one
Yeah,
little
you'll
weed.
always see that, won't you?
You'll see that.
We planted one of those. Is it an amaryllis or
Yeah,
one of those?
yeah.
You know, you sit there and wait for that thing to bloom, right? And wait and wait and wait, and you say, "Well, I'll look tomorrow," and it doesn't bloom, don't you? You know?
Yes, it did it overnight. So,
Yeah.
but we really hope that people from the local community will come out and support this and see some beautiful homes and gardens and get to know the garden club members. And we did want to shout out to a couple of our sponsors,
Sure,
if
please
that's
do that.
okay. Sharon Maddox, who is a member of our club from Maddox Funeral Home, has been very gracious to help. Beth Waller,
Right.
the local realtor, Brett Herbeck down
Right.
at Edward Jones, Bill Powers from
Right.
State Farm Insurance. They've all contributed to help make this happen. And a shout out to Lizzie down at Visitors Center
Yes.
and the folks at the Heritage Society who have
Well,
helped.
everybody you mentioned are very community oriented,
Yes,
and
they are.
love to. They're a great set of helping hands. Help them put a lot of events, so they deserve a little shout out there.
Well, we appreciate them, and we hope the local community will enjoy the event.
Well, we're going to do this story, and we'll start sharing it around. And please reshare it. Get all your members to share it around, and more people know about it, the bigger the event.
Right, and we will be updating nonstop on our Facebook page, the Garden
Okay.
Club of Warren County. Make sure it's one that is in Virginia, because there
There's a
are
lot
other
of-
states and with Warren County in the
Yes,
Garden
yes.
Club name.
Yep, they do.
And but you'll recognize the photograph of our main street when the white trees are in blossom. It's a very
those old pear trees.
yes,
yeah.
I know they. I
They look
know.
so pretty, but stink.
Yeah, but they are beautiful. So
yes.
Anyway, make sure you have the right
Sure.
garden club page when
We
you
will.
pull
We'll
that
put
up on
link.
Facebook.
We'll put that link to your Facebook page as well.
All right. Well, I've got
All right.
that information here for
All
you.
right. Thanks again, Bonnie. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.